Joining us live to explain her shock move is Queensland Senator Pauline Hanson. Pauline, thank you for your time, stopping there in Brisbane for us. Why did you change your tune with the government?
What was released this week with the 23 million breaches by the banking sector, and it was just, I think, the last straw that broke the camel's back. Negotiations with the government with regard to the bill had started weeks ago, and I acknowledge that. We worked very well with the government, but in light of what's happened today, during the week, about the breaches, about white-collar crime, and also Schedule 3 of the bill is administration, that we said no, we couldn't go ahead and support the government's bill. So, you know, they say it's the ensuring integrity bill. It should be the ensuring inequality bill, because the people of Australia want to see that the government is going to deal white-collar crime, which they haven't. When Morrison came out and said, well, it's not up to us to deal with the banks, it's up to the board. So, but we are guaranteeing the banks. So the government does have a big say in the banking sector. The people want more from that. And I've also said to the CFMEU and the unions, get your act together. Stop your bullying, your thuggery and your corruption. So it's basically a shot over their bow saying, stop this, because my vote next time around is not going to be guaranteed. And I want the government to address white-collar crime. Don't go after unions and think that you're not going to deal with the banks. And it was One Nation Senate inquiry into the banking sector that we exposed liquidators, administrators and the receivers. And I begged the government to put that in the Royal Commission. They never did anything about it. So don't be hypocritical. That's what I'll tell the government.
This Westpac story came out about 10 days ago now. Was it a tactic to leave it until the last moment in the House to not tell the government that you were going to vote with Labor?
Like I said, there was other factors in it as well. Labor had no idea. You know, Albanese came up to my office just prior to the vote and he was saying, you know, to see me, and I wouldn't even see him. I was in another meeting and he was turned away from my office. So if there's any hint or talk that Albanese changed my mind, the vote, that's not the case whatsoever. You know, I'm working with them on the dairy bill and I appreciate their support. But my vote and any piece of legislation is based on its merit, what I think is right for the people and for the country. So if they can't accept that, you know, they took me and Senator Roberts' vote for granted. At no stage did I tell them they had my guaranteed vote on it. My word's my bond. And they can, you know, have the opinion that I gave my word to them. I never did. I worked with them as far as the amendments, and I actually said to them prior to the sitting week, I said, go ahead with it, bring the bill on. And I said, I've got no problem with it, because they weren't getting a guarantee from Jackie Lambie or One Nation. All I said was, you know, bring the bill on, because we'd been negotiating, talking to unions. My office was constantly a revolving door with organisations and unions and the phone calls, and we thought, just put it to vote. But at no time did they have a guarantee. They took me for granted.
Erica Betts said that you did have a handshake agreement and that you're acting dishonestly. Is that fair?
That doesn't fit at all, because Erica Betts, at no time have I discussed this bill with him at all. So that is not true. If I've got a handshake agreement with anyone, I stick by it. Like I said, my word's my bond. So don't come back and telling me all that. I've had negotiations with the government and issues in the past that I've wanted them to do. And you know what? They've never stuck to their word, what they've done. So if anyone you can trust, I know you can trust me more than what you can trust the government. This is what politics is about. It's dirty politics, it's gutter politics. Well, I won't play their game. And if they think they can take me for granted, well, think twice about it. My responsibility is to the people of this nation, and I will ensure that they get fair representation. And if I'm sick and tired of the government's arrogance, and that's what it is, the sheer arrogance. And they thought that, to get rid of me at the last election. Well, I'm here because the people want me here, and I will go back to the polls at the next election. The people will decide whether they want me or not, and I'll leave it up to them. But I will stand on integrity for what I believe is right.
Does this mean the government shouldn't rely on your support to repeal the Medivac legislation?
No, that's not right. I have come out publicly and said I will support the government's Medevac bill. Of course I will. I look at that based on what I think is right. So I will support that. And I'll say, you've got it here. I will support the bill. They've guaranteed my vote. You know, you've got to get over this. You've got to move on from the fact is they didn't get my vote on this bill. But we've still got to work together.
You just said that they shouldn't be taking your support for granted. You just said that they shouldn't be taking your support for granted.
No, Annalise, I'm sorry. I never gave them my word that I would vote for the integrity bill. I'm telling them now they have got my vote on the Medevac. So there's a difference. Don't twist my words.
Okay. No, fair enough. And can I just check, Matthias Cormann said he's been having trouble getting a hold of you. Are you going to call him back?
Matisse tried to ring me straight after we came out of the chamber. If you can imagine, my staff didn't even know, and either did Malcolm Roberts' staff know, how we were going to vote. So I had to go back and tell my staff as well. And he was trying to ring me straight away. I have texted him. We have exchanged text messages. So that's not completely true. Have I personally spoken to him on the phone? No, I haven't. I've just got off a plane from Canberra. So it was full on last night with me, and I've just got off a plane. So I'll talk to Matisse. It's the first time he's really wanted to have a talk with me in a while.
Well, we're very glad you can make some time for us. Pauline Hanson, One Nation Senator from Queensland. Thank you so much.